Okay, so the Copyright Design and Patents Act is a legal act that we need to know about in computer science, and it very much affects a lot of the digital work that people use and create on a computer system. So it was introduced in 1988 to protect intellectual property, and it covers a whole range of different written and recorded content, including things like books, music, films, and software. Now, from the perspective of IT and computer science students, what we're going to kind of consider this is from the perspective of music, film, and software, because those are the things that we are going to be mostly associated with. Yes, we can have things like ebooks, but by and large, let's settle in on things like music, film, and software. So it is illegal to use unlicensed software that you haven't paid for, or you haven't gained specific or explicit permission from the person that wrote the software to use it. It's illegal to plagiarize or copy somebody else's work, and it's also illegal to share copyrighted files without the owner's permission. Now, it's the owner's permission that's the key part to this whole discussion, in that how do they give you permission? Well, the most common way of granting permission is by handing over some money, so paying for a piece of software or paying for some music from one of the online stores, and that's you essentially being given permission to then actually use the software, listen to the piece of music whenever you want. You can also get their consent in writing, where they will write to you and say that yes, you are allowed to use this particular image, yes, you are allowed to play this video, etc. But most commonly, the way copyright is granted is by paying for a fee, and that releases the copyright for you to use. It does not mean you have ownership of the actual work itself. That's still retained by the copyright holder, unless they've explicitly given you ownership of the copyright, but it just allows you to use that piece of work in the way that it's been, in the way that that's set out in the actual terms and conditions. Patents is not something that we really focus in on, to be honest, in a computer science or ICT exam, but it's worth knowing that a patent is an idea that it covers new inventions. So if somebody comes up with a project idea or a concept, what they can do is they can apply for a patent, and that patent will then cover them, so that unique concept cannot then be used by others. So, for instance, in the pharmaceutical world, so like paying for drugs, new drugs are brought onto a market, they are patented, and then no one else can copy the ingredients in a drug for so many number of years, so the pharmaceutical company can make a lot of money out of it. In really simple terms, the ring pull on a can of drink, it was patented many years ago, and was not allowed to be copied without express permission from the person that designed it. So anything like that, a little design, can have a patent to it, and then you hold the exclusive rights as to how that invention is used. The thing about the Copyright Design and Patents Act is that it's made it really hard to protect copyrighted content, due to the fact that the internet is global, and sharing across boundaries, and boundaries where not every country has the same level of law that the UK has in relation to the copyright of material. So file sharing websites, peer-to-peer networks, and file hosting sites are common ways where material that is copyrighted is shared almost freely and very easily, and it makes it very hard for organisations to actually to do anything about it. Now, the last thing I would say on this, and it's really important to kind of make a note of this as well, is that the Copyright Design and Patents Act is designed to ensure that an author of a piece of digital work or digital rights work or recorded content is paid appropriately for the work that they've done. Without the Copyright Design and Patents Act, we wouldn't have a music industry, we wouldn't have a film industry, there wouldn't be a software industry. It's designed to make sure that people get paid fairly for the work that they have produced. But as I said at the start of this video, make sure you go and have a look at some extended long answer questions on this to help apply your knowledge into an exam context.